Thank you, Amanda. So this is the context for the webinar today. And Elisa has run the research. She is a returner of ours. She asked 120 returners to feed back into it. And the respondents are a combination of our alumni and 2 to 3 days. The methodology, the objective of the research was to understand returners, their back to work experience. Our returners have 3 years at least out of work. They had a career break, and the responses to this were anonymous. So just some context also, 2 million women aged between 50 and 64 are inactive, and 18% of them are looking for a job. 29% of those have at least 1 degree. So there's a really rich audience here. So I'm going to tell you a bit more about our returners. Just to dispel the myth, only 32% of our returners are working 3 days, 68% are working 4 to 5 days. They want to be back in the office and pretty much full time. The salary levels, 36% between 51 and 80k, with 12% over 80k and then 3% over that. So reasonably senior positions. Career break, 70% of our returners have had a break actually over 5 years. 23% had a break over 10 years. And this is the wealth of experience shows the majority, 87%, had worked for over 10 years before their break. So lots of experience. 17% only went back on a higher salary than when they were working before. 83% earned less or the same as when they left work. So just to sum up in a nutshell, back 4 to 5 days a week, careers break over 5 or 10 years, 87% of 10 years experience, 38 have now worked for over 15 years, and 83% the same or less as when they left work. So how do our returners feel? Do they feel valued? So this is a mood cloud describing the responses, how they felt about going back to work. And sadly, the largest mood category is frustrating. It's a word that is describing. And then challenging, isn't it? So exciting and daunting both come before words like empowering and rewarding. So I think that's an indication of how they're feeling. 53% accepted a job in a more junior position. In terms of feeling about the current level of responsibilities, although there is a reasonable level of satisfaction, 41% feeling satisfied, disappointingly, 57% feel overqualified and feel like they could take on more. The last piece of information that I wanted to share was attitudes of employers. So although employers talked a really good game about diversity, no one really noticed a huge amount of action, which I think is really relevant to the topic and certainly to back to business shift. Also, it was noted that employers adopted a bit of tunnel vision around the role, so might be fitting into a specific role, but couldn't think laterally or outside the box about returners' capabilities, which we'll discuss in a minute. The other thing, the perception from our returners is that employers prefer to hire younger staff with fewer domestic responsibilities who could, without notice, work longer hours to meet client needs. So a disappointing thought. Final point is, do you feel you have to work harder to show your value? And 67% of our returners felt they had to work harder to show their value.